think we're recording. Hey everyone, welcome to my new channel. I'm going to start doing a bit of paranormal investigation. I thought in this video, this is an introduction to some of the equipment that we'll be using on the doing investigations. I've got a whole box here full of equipment. I've got some more equipment on its way, but right now I'm going to show you what there is. So right now there's this piece of equipment. This is the SB7 Spirit Box. The Spirit Box is just a radio that has a sweep function. So you can turn it on, and we hit sweep backwards, and as you see, the radio picks up frequencies and plays backwards. This is used for communication with spirits. The theory is that the spirits can use radio signals, the frequency, and be able to speak words through that noise, white noise. So that's the SB7. The most important piece of paranormal equipment that you could ever use. Right. Might as well do this one out of the way. I'm not going to use this one as much of at all, but it's just in case, and it's a Ouija board. Whether or not they work is debatable. There is something called the ideomotor effect. However, that is vague. This one's a wooden one. Came all the way from Latvia, and I keep it well and truly out of the house. So if it is something that actually works, nothing's going to happen there. Alright, next is my laptop, only just for note taking. Another important piece, and this is the most important piece ever, you see all the paranormal investigators using this. This is a K2 EMF meter. EMF means electromagnetic frequencies. So if I grab my this, I haven't actually tested, hang on. Right, you can see the electromagnetic frequency changing. Now, a spirit uses EMF radiation. It is pretty much all EMF radiation, and what you can do with this is use it kind of like a Ouija board in a spirit box. You can use it to get the spirit to answer questions, find the spirit. You can say light up to the yellow for yes or the red to no, or so forth, and they will touch it and hopefully put the energy in. Next item I have, actually let's put that in plural, the next items, so I've got two, are dowsing rods. The reason why I've got two dowsing rods is because I lost one set and ordered another one, and then I ended up finding the original. So what dowsing rods are, bits of copper. And spirits, it's something called water witching, where back in the day you would use these and they would find water. It is raining now at the moment, so they're going a little bit crazy. You can get the spirits, in theory, to cross the rods for a yes, inwards, or outwards for a no. So, if there is a spirit here, please cross the rods inwards. As you can see, I'm still as much as I can. I'm thinking of building a little stand and using these on it so that it's still and it's not me moving it. Right, the next bit of pieces of equipment, something that most investigators don't use, and it's just old phones. I use these for something called EVP, which is electronic voice phenomena, where you can be doing a voice record. Actually, I might as well point out that's also, if I can find it, because I've got bits of foam in here. Right, here's another foam. Where was it? There it is. It's an old Walkman or MP3 player. And EVP is electronic voice phenomena, and if you're talking, you can ask questions in there, and hopefully the spirit can speak into the device, and when you play back, you can often hear the voice of the spirit. Kind of similar to the spirit box. However, in this case, it's not sweeping through radio stations. It's actually just a recording. I'm going to get a proper EVP recorder. Then I've just got headlamps and torches for self-explanatory purposes. Now I've also got speaker for amplifying the spirit box, and I also have this. This is a doorbell ringer. It hasn't got any batteries in it at the moment, because I need to get some for a start, which I actually have got some in the back. So, once upon a time, a couple of weeks ago, I had batteries in here, and it randomly went off. I lost the button for this ages ago, and it just started ringing on its own. And there was at one point, I asked if there was anyone there touching the speaker, can you make it ring again? And it rang. So this is it's the piece of equipment that I'm going to get is something called a REM pod, which is it's kind of like a theremin. You get close to a theremin and it starts playing. It changes the electromagnetic waves. If a spirit touches the antenna of that theremin, or REM pod I should say, it beeps. And the only way that will beep is if something touches that antenna, or gets extremely close. Also have obviously a hard drive just for backups, self-explanatory what that's for. Battery charger for charging batteries for cameras. I have a candle here, a white candle. Note that it's a white candle, and that is for protection. I'm going to get some more candles. There's different types. You've got black candles and white candles, and black candles are usually used for witchcraft, in a sense for contacting demonic or unwanted spirits sometimes. But white candles are for protection. They only help bring in good spirits. So that's what that's for. And you'd use that with Ouija boards and have a bit of sage. A bunch of cables, obviously. And I've got my old tablet for note taking. I'm going to at some point get an SLS camera, which is what you used the Xbox 360 camera for one of the dancing games. You can use that, and what happened, the reason why they discontinued it is because it was picking up figures that weren't there. And a lot of paranormal investigators are now using SLS cameras to find objects, entities, and they pop up and wave and so forth. It's very interesting, and there's nothing there, and there's nothing moving. So how it's picking an object up it's only unexplained. The next item is just some cheap walkie-talkies, just for communication. These were only like $10, not even that. Actually, I think they were a bit more, to be honest with you, now I'm thinking about it. I got chargers, got a laptop charger, bunch of SD cards and multi charger pieces. And yeah, that is, as far as I can tell, and a camera. I don't know if I'm going to use this as much. I will use my iPad. So yeah, so the equipment that I need to get next is a REM pod. I also need to get a thermal imaging camera. Now the spirit box here has got an ambient temperature deviation detection feature on it. So if it gets colder or hotter in the temperature, then it will make a noise. It will beep. Kind of like a REM pod. But the only difference between that, I mean, a REM pod does temperature, don't get me wrong, but the REM pod is more of touch, where it will touch the antenna, the spirit, will touch the antenna, and it will beep. In this case, the REM pod, yeah, it will beep and the REM pod will go off. It's, like I said, it's a theremin. Thermal imaging camera is the cheapest, surprisingly, which is going to be next on the list. Actually, no, that's not going to be next on the list. A REM pod, well, any type of REM pod, like anything that does the same job as a REM pod is next. But yeah, so that is an overview of some of the equipment. I've obviously got more in the works. That will be headphones. These aren't in the box. These are going to be used obviously for what's called sensory deprivation. Now, sensory deprivation is where you sit in a room, usually blindfolded. This is where you need two people, at least two people. You put your headphones on and you connect it to your spirit box and you put a blindfold on. Now, when you have that happening, you are depriving yourself of vision and hearing. And what you do with the headphones is crank your spirit box up high as it goes, so you cannot hear outside of you. That's why you need noise cancelling headphones for this. I don't know what's gone on here. I think it's frozen. Okay, anyway, that's why you need noise cancelling headphones. Anyway, yeah, that's why you need noise cancelling headphones. So you can put them on and listen to the spirit box and get someone to ask questions, and you repeat out what you hear. You're not going to be hearing what those questions are, because you're going to have that spirit box as loud as you can without obviously damaging your ears, but you also don't want to be hearing any noise whatsoever coming from the next person asking the questions. And also you want to have a blindfold on so you can't see their mouth in case you can read mouths. The blindfold comes into this because you can do that, and you can also use the dowsing rods at the same time. The dowsing rods, if you say, is there a spirit here, and the spirit box says yes, or if you go is the spirit here, can you cross the rods for yes, and it says yes, and they cross, you don't know they've crossed, because, well, you may be able to feel it, but you don't know if it's actually crossed, because you can't see it, but you can hear it. Now that's where it gets more believable, especially when that next person is going to be asking questions you cannot hear, and you get a direct answer that is relevant to that question. Is it raining? Yes. At the moment it's raining. If I said no, maybe it's not maybe it's not real. If I said yes, that's where you start believing more. So that's an overview of the equipment that I'm going to be using. I've got more, and I don't know if I'm going to use all of it, especially that spirit board, the Ouija board. I've used it a couple of times, and really haven't really got that much of a response, but that's probably because I'm not using it in a place where I probably should use it. So please subscribe to the channel. I've got content that's going to be coming out soon. At the moment, this channel is in the works. Subscribe to my other channel. I haven't been posting on there for quite a while, but yeah, do subscribe to this channel. I'm going to create an outro at some point. Yeah. Comment down below the locations that you think are going to be good places in New Zealand. There's a lot of places that I want to visit, but logistically it could be tricky. But yeah, comment below. I've got a few places in mind. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and hopefully this is going to be a good channel. And I'll probably update you when I get the rest of the equipment and start doing investigations. I may do a spirit box session here, which I won't use the Ouija board, but I'll use the dowsing rods, and I will use the spirit box to see if I can get some answers. I have tried it and it has worked, so that'll be good, and I'll get the EVP recorder going and see what happens. But other than that, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.